Welcome back to Girl Drama with Superheroes. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 13 of To Be Hero X. And this arc has been focusing on Queen and just the entire title of X and everything. We've been getting a lot of drama between these characters and like who rightly deserves the title, who's taken the title from whom, and various things like that. It's been an interesting arc that has, I feel like more than any other, progressed the overall story of this series. And it makes me curious as to where this is going to go in regards to the other plot lines that we have experienced throughout this story so far. Because obviously we're getting the likes of like Lucky, what's her face? I'm bad with names. But we're getting like her in this, and we have other heroes who have yet to have like a focus on them. And yeah, it's really fascinating that we're touching on like all these different aspects of like previous arcs while still like mainly focusing on Queen. But we're also setting up a lot of stuff for future arcs, such as again this mysterious Hero X and whatnot. So I'm very curious, I can't speak today, to see where this all goes. That being said, I think we're just going to get into it. I think we're just going to see what happens and hope for the best. I don't know if, I don't know how many more episodes this arc has, but I'm kind of interested to see where it closes out to, especially regarding the rivalries that we set up in it. But I guess we should just check it out and find out. So let's do so. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I looked it up. This is a different arc. The Queen arc was just the last couple episodes, and it did end on that big cliffhanger and everything. But now we're into this arc. And yeah, the start of it is pretty strong. It seems to be kind of continuing and piggybacking off the last arc with the entire, like, for lack of a way to put it, girl power aspect. With this, we have Lily, I believe her name is, or Lolly, as her hero name seems to be, which, choose a better name, please. But Lily is a 16-year-old girl who's a pretty strong genius at inventing, and seems to be not taken too seriously for a number of reasons. The main one being she is seen as cute. She's small for her age. She has like a cutesy face and everything. The long pink hair, and she likes the long pink hair, as she stated in the episode, but she also kind of resents it to a degree because people don't take her seriously. They see her as just cute, And because of that, they don't like see her as a possible hero. And this obviously speaks to a very real thing that we even get to see in this episode with this other girl whose name I can't remember right now. But in the real world, and as we see through this other girl, there's a lot of occasions where women will be basically discriminated against because of the way they look. They won't be taken seriously in like STEM fields and other such kind of career markets because they're women. Basically, literally, it's because they're women. It's sexist, straight up. And a lot of times it especially goes when they look a certain way. Like, very cutesy, small women aren't taken seriously in a lot of cases. A big example I could give is actually pro wrestling. There's this pro wrestler named Riho. She's a Japanese pro wrestler who's like super talented and everything, but she's small. She is a small Japanese woman who is, you know, her style is more of like a high flyer style. She's very agile and whatnot. But there's a lot of fans out there who refuse to take her seriously as a wrestler. It's like, oh, how are you going to put her against bigger opponents when she's so small? It's like, how can we take that seriously? How can we, like, take it seriously that she could win any of those matches? And it's like, this is just sexist. Like, there's no getting around that. This is just really fucked up. You're judging her based on her being a young female, a young, small female wrestler. You're basically body shaming her. And you're minimizing her already existing contributions to the sport, as well as all the great matches she's had against, you know, not only other female wrestlers, but male wrestlers too. It's like, hell, one of the greatest in the business, Kenny Omega, even stands up for her constantly and, like, is a huge supporter and friend of hers. And yet people will still, like, shit on her constantly, and it really irritates me. Because, like, in pro wrestling, smaller wrestlers can absolutely fight bigger ones. They just wrestle in a different way. They wrestle a lot of times using their agility, using their speed, using their ability to move around the ring a little better. Like, no, the funny thing is, you know it's sexist because nobody fucking complains about Rey Mysterio. Everybody knows who Rey Mysterio is. He's one of the most prolific pro wrestlers of all time, and he's small. He is a small dude. And yet, he's faced off against the likes of The Big Show. He's faced off against all of these huge, like physically huge and imposing wrestlers. And nobody's ever complained about him. Nobody's ever said, oh, it's not believable, it's not realistic to have someone that small win against a larger opponent. No, they only do that with like Riho and female wrestlers like that. And it's sexist. It's pure sexism. And it pisses me off. Because women are, even smaller women like that, are just as capable and should be taken just as seriously. And again, we see that kind of shit with this episode. This girl is like this really highly intelligent, skilled, like, you know, master of her field. I can't remember the exact field and everything. But, you know, she's like, has this degree and everything, and literally the people interviewing her is like, oh, you look too cute to be a master in this field. It's like, the fuck? It's like, oh, we were looking for a secretary, right? That is so demeaning for so many reasons. That is so aggressively sexist and demeaning. And it's just, it sucks. And that's what this entire arc, again, it seems to be focusing around. Because we have Lily worried about the same stuff. All her life, she's been, like, not taken seriously because of her like cutesy appearance. And she wants to be a hero. She was inspired by Queen's speech and wants to be a hero, and is putting everything into it, not just in terms of robotics and technology, but even in terms of like physical training. Like, again, she's 16 years old. Most 16-year-olds aren't going to be like putting forth this amount of effort into anything. Yet she's not giving up, and she's putting forth so much more effort than you would ever expect. And not because she's a girl, not because she's cutesy, but because she's, a teenager. Teenagers usually don't have the attention span for that shit. I know I didn't. And a lot of my friends definitely didn't. But yeah. It sucks seeing even just characters in a show have to go through that. And it's not even just with like the cutesy little girls either like this. These kind of discriminations appear in so many different ways. People with tattoos or piercings. People, like women who are not traditionally feminine, are discriminated against as well. Not just the like overly cutesy ones, the ones who are like more masculine, quote unquote, or, like just not small and cutesy. It's like it goes both ways in that regard. And then you also have, queer people who are very discriminated against. Even if like a company won't like admit that, it's like, oh, you have an interview and you come in and like someone like me would come in with like a dress or a skirt or something on. It's like they're going to discriminate like crazy against me. They'll take one look at me and like, oh, this is some kind of freak. This is some kind of weirdo. And it's just, it's the reality for way too many people. And it shouldn't be, obviously. But it is. And I love that this series is touching on stuff like this. And it touched on like things similar to this in the last arc too. Which is one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if this was a new arc at first or not. Because it feels like it's tackling a lot of the same ideas and themes. And it is. I have to assume at this point that Lee Hao-ling, the creator of this series, as well as Link Click, I have to assume at this point these are just like the kind of themes and subjects that he wants to focus on, that he enjoys talking about and getting out there a lot more. Now, there's one thing of note here. I know there's some people out there who would watch this and like be questioning, like, oh, she asked her to take her out for drinks. Are we supposed to ship them? And my issue with this is like, how old is this other girl? Because she's an adult, right? She's out of college at least. Or, yeah, she would be out of college considering her, what she said her, like, studies and degrees or whatever were in. So, I would have to say she's probably, like, mid-20s. She herself is, like, pretty, like, small and cutesy and everything, but I definitely don't think you're supposed to ship these two characters, and not because, like, oh, it's a Chinese series, it's like, they're not gonna show a gay ship or anything in it. That's not the reason. And especially when you account for the fact that this is a Lee Hao-ling series. Because it's like, you have Link Click, which is so fucking gay, without, like, directly being able to say it because of obvious reasons. But let's be honest, there's a shit ton of fuel for Cheng Xiaoxi and Lu Guang that it's not funny. It's like, it would be weird if you didn't ship them. Not to mention, there's that that couple of girls from episode 2 of season 1 who are very blatantly and clearly a couple, or like had been a couple and everything. But it's like, again, it's not going to say that directly because of like media laws and whatnot in China. And they just have to kind of get away with like making it subtext. Although it's aggressively obvious. So it's not that kind of thing. I feel like Li Haoling like would kind of sneak that kind of shit into here. But again, there's the age gap thing, and it's just, I feel like that's kind of like the more concerning part. Plus, it's like what she said anyway. She's like, I wanted you to ask me to do this and everything because I wanted to have like a normal work life interaction. Because in a lot of Asian countries, I guess that's a thing. Like after work, like workmates will go out, get beers and stuff together. You see it a lot in anime. You see it a lot in anime, where they go out to the bar together, get beers and stuff after work. It's very common, actually. But I guess maybe that's a thing in China as well. It's not unbelievable. And yeah, I feel like that some people are going to mistake that scene for shipping, and I don't think that's what they're trying to get across there. I really don't. But I think that's part of the point. A lot of her arc so far seems to be centered around assumptions based on appearances. People making stupid, like, kind of gross assumptions based on only what they see. And, like, even with this creepy stalker guy, like, after Lily's actual appearance was revealed, after the helmet was knocked off, like, the dude, like, he, like, symboled a heart or something at her like that, and then, like, kind of, like, ran off. Like, oh, I can't continue fighting this girl now. I know she's so adorable. And it's just like, even something like that, it's like, what the fuck? It's very interesting to think about kind of the themes and messages that we're getting here. And I'm very curious, like, what they're going to do with it next episode. So, for the meantime, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.